companies, no? Ito ang masasabi natin semi-conventional because we were going against hordes of MILF, and it was actually a brigade operation, no, with the battalions of 64th IB under Jimmy Yangson that time, elements of three companies of Rangers and my battalion, the 40th Infantry Battalion. Our mission that time was to get Raja Muda, no? So we were actually the first army troops who was able to overrun the so-called MILF stronghold in the Ligwasan Mars of Raja Muda, no? So yung with several units under the 602 Brigade, ako, yung battalion ko, was made the main effort, no? And we were the first one na pumasok dun sa Raja Muda, no? It was a one whole week series of encounters leading to ultimately the overrunning of Raja Muda. Raja Muda kasi is it is in between Midsayap of North Cotabato, Pikit, and Pagalungan of Maguindanao. No? Pikit and Midsayap is in North Cotabato, while Pagalungan is in Maguindanao. No? So, katulad nga nung sinasabi ko kanina, it was the first time that we used, because newly issued pa lang yung ano nun Simba. So we took advantage of this by using the Simbas as cover and base of fire. At yung ginamit natin konsepto nun is yung tinatawag combined arms, using of artillery, armor, infantry, and supported by air support, by air power. Yung MNLF at yung MILF dun sa area, talaga nag-aaway sila, may rido. So yung intelligence namin, even at times yung guide namin to go against the MILF were actually MNLF rebels, no? Na at that time was already on our side. No? I remember in immediately after I took over as battalion commander, early 2000 or early 1997, finorm ko yung the whole MILF brigade straddling the areas of Carmen and Pikit, North Cotabato. So it was the first time that they allowed a military officer in their camp. I would say probably 300, 350 sila lahat nun. And I gave them a briefing on the intention of the military, why we were there, why we are not their enemy, and why at that time, the threat at that time was another group, which was the MILF. So with that, malaki ang natulong natin sa nila sa atin. In terms of providing intelligence, in terms of providing guides, in terms of identifying even the MILF members, sila ang malaking naitulong sa atin. Yung naging S2 and S3 ako of 602 Brigade in Davao, ang aming konsepto of defeating the enemy was firepower, no? Firepower in the sense that during that time, ang dami natin mga helicopters. Bagong-bagong labas yung mga MG-520, no? Yung OB-10, bagong labas lang nun. So we had the preponderance of air power was in Davao that time. So wala kaming ginawa kung hindi firepower against the enemy. And we were able to be successful to a certain extent. Ang dami naming napatay. But on the contrary, meron din kaming mga tinamaan other than the targets. No? Meaning to say, may mga tinamaan na hindi dapat tinamaan. Okay, so yun ang, because as we all know, yung the bombs and the rockets coming from the MG520 and the OB-10 is not that accurate. May I also add na yung panahon na yon, we were using 105. No? Malakas yung 105 namin noon at that time. And we were not limited. Unlike right now, there is a shortage of 105 ammunition. Nung panahon na yun, hindi. Tuloy-tuloy, one to sawa. Ang ginawa ng 6th Infantry Division sa MILF noon was basically meet arms with arms. So, meaning to say, kung sila madaming tao at madaming armas, mas madaming armas, mas malakas ang armas natin, at mas madami tayo kesa sa kanila. So, nung una, walang gera yun eh. Ano lang yun? Tapatan lang. Tinginan lang. No? But slowly, nagkakaroon ng initan, so doon tuloy-tuloy. Nag-roll, nag-snowball yung gulo. No? But from time to time, biglang nagkakaroon ng ceasefire because President FVR thought that eventually everyone should be settled in the negotiating table. No? Hindi sa battlefield. So pag may malaking gera, we would anticipate that after some time, the MILF would be called back to the negotiating table. So ganun ang ganun palagi. Gera, maneuver, may namamatay, negotiating table. Negotiating table, agreement. I'd like to inform everyone that in 1997, in July of 1997, the 6th Infantry Division already wanted to take over Abu Bakar. But the president at that time said, no, we can still settle this in the negotiating table. We were about to attack Abu Bakar at that time, and it only needed a call from the president to tell us to stop. Right in the nick of time, dapat paano na kami. We're about to attack Abu Bakar. And last minute, I would say just minutes before attack time, biglang na-hold. And because of that, biglang the MILF had the time to further strengthen and reinforce yung kanilang camp, no? So, after a few years, during the time of President Estrada, when he decided that Camp Abu Bakar should really be taken, we had a harder time because mas malalakas na yung kanyang defenses going to Abu Bakar. As what I said earlier, ginamit natin dito yung firepower as a major weapon, using air support, no? Using the rockets of the MG520, yung bombs, yung 500 and 250 pounders of the OB-10, and artillery, no? But I'd just like to emphasize on one thing which I would say was very important in my overrunning Raja Muda. At that time, may inattach sa akin na 8 tubes of 81mm mortar. The 81mm mortar is a very potent weapon in as much as you can really, or the troops themselves, na-identify nila kung saan yung kalaban. No? At saka madali mag-adjust. Unlike yung ibang, yung fire support o yung artillery at saka yung air support, no? Itong weapons na to is not in the hands of the infantry, no? We had to call for fire and we had to redirect kung saan ibabaksak. Unlike yung 81, kami mismo nagdadala. Kaya pag nakaka-engkwento kami, or if we see that there is an imminent danger, ginagamit namin kagad to. No? So, 81mm mortar in a semi-conventional environment is very important. When I became battalion commander of 40 IB in 1996 under then General Torrelavega of 602 Brigade and General Orgelio of the 6th Infantry Division, where we employed armor, no? Bagong-bago yung mga Simba at that time. And ginagamit na konsepto yung combined arms, no? Meaning to say, we were combining infantry, which was using yung Simba as both a base of fire and as a cover, while being supported by the artillery to include mortars and air power, no? At tamang-tama naman nung panahon na yun is kalakasan nun ng MILF eh. So my battalion commandership was very fruitful. I was a battalion commander starting from 1996 up to mid-1998, no? And for a battalion, my area was relatively very small. My area was only one town, the town of Pikit, no? Pikit, North Cotabato. Because at that time, ang daming kalaban nun, no? All you have to do is to look at your binoculars and you would see na ang daming mga MILF na nakapaligid sa inyo. Modesty aside, I have been called by General Orgelio as the conqueror of Raja Muda, because we were the first battalion actually to enter Raja Muda. In the whole expanse of yung Liguasan Mars, ang pinakamalakas na stronghold nila dyan was Raja Muda, no? Okay. In 1996, early 1996, it was the time that we were able to sign a pact with the MILF. Yung pact na yan was multifaceted. One was their integration, no? One was to giving them governance, no? And others, no? But what was important is at that time, nag-separate yung MILF with the MNLF, no? And the MILF was getting stronger. So we had to show the MILF that they are not really that strong. So we were forced initially we had to convince the president that time that we had to show them that we are the only force, that we are the only group that is authorized to bear firearms, no? And yung the most yung Raja Muda kasi noon as was right in the middle of Liguasan Mars, no? In between North Cotabato Maguindanao, Sultan Kudarat. No? So we had to show them that that no place is unconquerable and no stronghold of the enemy can never be overcome and destroyed. So with that in mind, si General Orgelio, the 6th Infantry Division and the 602 Brigade came up with plans really to overthrow and to conquer Raja Muda.